Iranians right now are sitting there. The only concern I got right now is while you're looking at the attacks, let me give you the pros and the cons. If you get into a fight with someone and say 8 people are on your side, okay, and you're fighting a group's coming after you, and then all of a sudden, those people that are attacking you, the 8 that are on your side are like, listen, leave the guy alone. You start hitting them with a baseball bat and you shoot at them. Guess what they're going to do? And then all of a sudden, very quickly, who has your back? Who has Iran's back right now? Actually, who has Iran's back right now? Who? The Hezbollahs and all these guys that they fund? That's a different story. Who has their back? Turkey's sitting on the sideline. Russia's even sitting on the sideline because they know they need that Zelensky deal with Ukraine. They know they need Trump.
Yep.
China's sitting on the sidelines. Oh, shit. I know we said $400 billion are going to put into Iran for 25 years, but, dude, that guy's crazy, and he just lost the tariffs with the Supreme Court. He's capable of doing anything to us, and he's still going to be there for 3 years. Listen, Iran, we'd love to have your back, but you're on your own right now. Maybe we can help you out with a tweet. Like, stay out of the way, don't attack anything, but that's about it. Where is Iran right now? Solo. What happens when in a fight you end up being all by yourself because you even killed your allies? You hit up your allies. They almost shot up Burj Khalifa. What is that highest? The
Burj
one
Khalifa,
in Dubai, right?
Yes.
And then they had to intersect it. There's a guy in a property that is sitting in his property, and literally a drone attacks 4 or 5 stories above him. He's recording this. Have you seen this footage? Rob, I don't know if you have this footage or not. I don't think this is the one. There is one where he's literally sitting there. Oh, is that the one? There is one, Rob. This footage is vicious. It goes right above him and hits the property that he's staying at. I don't think this is the one. It's another one.
No, it's out the window and all the orange sparks.
It's his window, and he starts screaming, crying. So, look, where they are right now, they're cornered. So let's kind of process what they do next. That's kind of where I want to go to next.
Yep.
Now that they're cornered, what happens when somebody is cornered?
They lash out.
They lash out. I got kids, 4 of them. If one of the kids is cornered, you know what they'll do? They'll lash out and they break the other kid's toy. Or they'll throw something that's the other kid's favorite whatever, right? And that's the one, Rob. Watch this. Watch this, folks. Go ahead.
It's a Delta Wing
He's
drone.
recording it from his apartment, and few stories above him got hit. Okay, look at this. So to me, when we go back to Iran, Khamenei, you have to realize these guys, they celebrate when they get killed for their God. Mm-hmm. To them, that's a celebration. To them, it's the kamikaze model, right? It's like, listen, I did it for them. And it's not even the 72 virgins we're talking about. Although, by the way, Khomeini, you guys know Khomeini? Very honorable man, right? He was supposed to be Gandhi. You guys want to know what Khomeini once said about what to do to women in prison? Have you ever heard him?
Nope.
You want to verify this, Rob? He once said female prisoners who are virgins must be raped before execution to prevent them from entering heaven. Isn't he an amazing guy to say something like that? That's the guy that died. When he died, I was in Iran, June 3rd, 89. I was there when the guy died. They didn't kill him. He died. This guy who was supposed to be a hero for them, female prisoners who are virgins must be raped before execution. If you go pull up the craziest thing he said in one of the books that he wrote, you would sit there and say, no human being, you would never write that. You would never subscribe to that. Our audience, if you're watching this, even though if you're part of the 30% that watches this, 20% that maybe you don't agree with that, deep down inside, you'll be like, I don't subscribe to that. Well, they did. About women and girls. About women and girls. Virgin female prisoners should be raped before execution so they do not go to heaven. Founding leader of the Islamic regime in Iran. What do you think about this guy? Does this sound like a noble man? Does this sound like a guy you want your son to look up to? Does this sound like a man you want to follow? Does this sound like a man you want to give the book and say, hey, son, read this book? Don't read Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. Mm-hmm. Don't read Thomas Sowell's books. Don't read Lincoln's books. No, read Khomeini's book. Because what he said is virgin female prisoners should be raped before execution so they don't end up in heaven. This is their values and principles. So what does it mean? When you handle somebody like this, that's this reckless, you can only handle them one of 2 ways. You either have to kill him and make an example of them publicly in front of everybody, and to put the fear of death, anything and everything to them, their family, everyone around them publicly. You have to do it that way first, or you have to also realize, because life to them doesn't matter, what are they capable of doing? Anything and everything. So let's talk about retaliation. What is retaliation? The typical protocols right now, FBI is giving the typical protocols. Be careful when you're going out. Don't go to large parties. You know, FBI is doing their thing in America, especially if you're living in an area with a lot of Jews or Jewish communities. So certain parts of L.A., certain parts of Miami, certain parts of Boca, certain parts of New York, certain parts of whatever, right? Be careful while you're going around, especially maybe if you're going to be too vocal, be careful with that. But you got to go a little bit deeper than that. So they're threatening to hit Strait of Hormuz. Let's talk about that, Tom. I'm going to come to you with this one here. Rob, can you pull up right now? What is the price of a barrel of oil today? It was 67 on Friday. What is the price of a barrel of oil today? Markets just opened, so I'm curious to know where it's at. Does it
Pre-markets were predicting 72.
Okay, great. So 72. So if they attack the Strait of Hormuz, you could potentially, and even if they block it, every day it's about 15 to 20 million barrels a day. It's about $1.2, $1.3 billion a day. About 20% of the world's oil goes through here. So don't be surprised if gas prices go up 30 to 50 cents in the next week or two. Don't be surprised. If they do anything to this area and they lock it up for 30 days, do not be surprised if a price of a barrel of oil goes up to $120 to $200 and gas prices go up $1 to $1.50. That's the pain of what they could do, right? Tom, I'll pause. Rob, what is this clip that you have here?
This is the IRGC announcing that the Strait of Hormuz was being closed.
Go for it.
Attention all ships. This is Sepah Navy, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy. From now on, all navigating through the Strait of Hormuz is forbidden. No ship in every type is not allowed to pass from a Strait of Hormuz till next notice. This is Sepah Navy, out.
Tom.
Right. So why do you think President Trump said drill, baby, drill? He said it on the campaign trail. He said it at the inauguration. To create energy independence and to make the United States an exporter, and an exporter to its friends and its allies who need energy. The Strait of Hormuz is where a lot of Middle East oil is trafficked. It's as important as the Panama Canal. And so it is very important to keep it open. But it's also important to understand the broader energy strategy. This is why drill, baby, drill. Do you know where Europe gets, I believe it's 60% of its natural gas? From us, from the United States, not from the Middle East. The gas comes from the United States. And so when you look at this, is this big? Yes, it's big. But you know what? Who's closing it? Who are you? Where are you? What installation do you have? What fleet do you have there? This will not take very long to incapacitate anybody that wants to come out there and hold up their hand like a stop sign. We are not talking about embargo right now. We are talking about these strikes. And if you want to put your ass in the Straits of Hormuz and try to interfere with tankers, you're going to go the way of the Somali pirates, right? You're going to be fish food.
Tom,
you know?
Question for you. How much of taking on Maduro first was part of the strategy to go after Iran, that if something happens, the oil reserves were protected? So if Iran all of a sudden goes crazy and locks up the Strait of Hormuz, his team sat there and said, don't worry. We have Venezuela already. We're locked in. They can do whatever they want to do. We have enough supplies. We won't be desperate. And we'll also be able to help our allies sell oil to them if Iran decides to go crazy.
You are exactly right. When the book is written about this chapter of history and how these dominoes were arranged and fell, credit to Trump and to Rubio is going to be very, very clear. And Witkoff, those are the three, are going to get a tremendous amount of credit for actually stabilizing the world's energy and neutralizing the black market shipments to people like China, who we wanted to neutralize on an economic basis. This is 3D chess, and I believe you are correct that the first domino, as soon as you do that to Venezuela and you stop the illicit oil going on there, you know where that heavy crude's going, Vinny? Houston. You know where the heavy crude is, the type of oil that comes out of, there's this huge valley in Venezuela. It's called heavy crude. And the largest concentration of refineries that handle heavy crude is in the American Gulf Coast.
Oh, weird.
The Gulf, isn't that odd? Like it was always set up to be that way, and it was this communist regime over the last 15, 20 years in Venezuela that interrupted that. That was always the play.
But that's the part where, listen, I always say there's 5 phases you go through in business. if you want to win in life at the highest level, I'll talk about it on the business side, but this is political side. First phase is the shadow phase. You work under somebody and you shadow them. You see how they work. Okay. Then you either become a leader in that company. So the next phase is what? Leadership phase. You'll learn how to make tough choices. Leadership, accountability, pushing them, driving them. Then you go through the next phase, which is the process and issues phase. You'll learn how to process issues, bigger decisions we got to make. So instead of buying one camera, you're not making a $600,000 decision. Then you're making a $5 million decision. Then making a $50 million decision. So you become better at making decisions. Fourth phase is sequencing phase. First we do this, then we do this, then we do that, then we do. So everything becomes about sequencing. And last but not least is solving bigger problems. I mean, to sit here and think about the fact that they went and got Maduro first before attacking Iran, you know, when I think about Iran, I think about Venezuela because those are two oils. Venezuela, Saudi, Iran. By the way, if that, I'm convinced that was intentional on the way they did it. So let me continue the next threat that they could have. One is oil, okay, which we're seeing what's going on right there. Brent, crude oil, global benchmark right now, approximately $79 to $80 a barrel. Amid trading on March 2nd, 2026, up sharply due to geopolitical tensions. Rob, can you ask what was it on Friday? I think on Friday, that same exact crude oil price, on Friday, the Brent crude oil price, was that 67? So that's a quick spike that went up, okay? So you folks, you're going to feel gas prices going up here. Number two, what else is Iran? 72.48. Okay, so it's up what? About 10%. It's up. In a span of 2 days, it's up 10%, okay? So now watch this. What's the next way they're going to attack, Tom? What other ways can Iran attack? Cyber warfare? We've never experienced that. Shutting down economical systems? Shutting down the internet? Shutting down different electrical grids that we have? You know, hitting military bases. They're already focused on all the military bases around. What they don't realize, I think we have a military base down the street from Iran, not in Iran, outside of it with our nuclear weapons there, just waiting in case Iran does something. Rob, can you type in where are military bases closest to Iran where we have nuclear weapons? Nuclear weapons. Which ones are they? They know that. Iran knows this. If they play with fire, what capabilities they're dealing with as well. And by the way, as much as Israel says they don't have nuclear weapons, we all know Israel has nuclear weapons. But it'll be our secret that you don't have nuclear weapons. We know you got nuclear weapons. Turkey, there you go. So at Turkey, historically known to host U.S. B-61 nuclear gravity bombs under NATO's nuclear sharing arrangement. This is the closest known NATO nuclear storage location geographically to Iran at present. Rob, can you go to maps and see what that looks like? Can you go to, by the way, go a little bit lower to see what else it says. Other, Belgium, but these are not nuclear, right? These are nuclear sharing sites in Europe, not in the Middle East, but part of a Western nuclear deterrent posture. Belgium, Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands. Okay, and Turkey is the one that we looked at. Go to the map with Turkey and Iran, Rob. If you just go to map Turkey, zoom out a little bit, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, so zoom out. Where's Iran, Turkey? Right there. Okay, so that's not a, like they know. And by the way, Turkey's friendly with Iran. They're neutral. They're not supportive. They didn't want this war to start. They said, don't do it. Don't attack them, right? So that's kind of Turkey's position. They know that. And you know what Iran's, one of the biggest strengths they have in Iran? They are one of the, by the way, their drones they produce, they sold to Russia to attack Ukraine. So they know how to produce drones like no other. I think the only other country that produces better drones than Iran is probably Ukraine. Rob, can you type in the top 5 best countries in producing military-level drones? Okay, top 5 countries for producing. We're one of the worst countries in the world for producing drones. You know why? Because we have all these FAA regulation. It's not easy. The regulation here is pretty bad. Who is number 1? U.S. Keep going. Okay. China. Keep going. Turkey. Keep going. Israel. Iran and Ukraine are on that list. Can you type in word? Okay, Iran.
A low cost attack drone.
Yeah, that's the thing. 'Cause we make the complicated,
That
the
was
big
the drone
one.
you saw.
That's what we just saw.
That
hit
we
the
just
apartment
saw hit
complex.
Iran and
building.
Ukraine produce the small, cheap, and fast.
Yep.
And Ukraine was making them thousands at a time is what they were producing. So, but the question becomes, how can they retaliate? That's the question. Adam.
Well, I think the Strait of Hormuz, closing it down, is going to backfire dramatically because, as we always say, follow the money. Who goes through there? There's a big shipping area. Who are the biggest exporters? Who's shipping things out of that area? Well, it's all of Iran's neighbors,
Saudis.
who they conveniently attacked, which I'll address. So the biggest exporters out of the Strait of Hormuz follow the money: Saudi, Iraq, the UAE, Qatar, and then obviously Iran. But who are the biggest importers? Who's basically saying, yes, we want your goods? China, India, Japan, South Korea, and the EU. Who's not on that list? The United States. Who's also not on that list? Israel. So it's like cutting your nose off to spite your face. So that's that. I think that's going to backfire dramatically. But speaking of following the money, who the hell are Iran's friends at this point? Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. You know, you're the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most. Where's China? Nowhere to be found. Where's Russia? Nowhere to be found. Why? Ask yourself, why are they not showing up? I thought World War III was going to happen. I thought they had each other's back, because they're not real friends. They're transactional friends. Oh, we want your oil. We want your drones. But China needs energy. See what happened in Venezuela? We need our oil. Oh, we can't get it from Venezuela now. We need Iran. Oh my God, what are we going to do? Maybe we got to do a deal with Saudi. Oh, Russia, we're in a war with Ukraine. Who's funding Ukraine? What's going on here? Oh, all of a sudden we don't have your back. Iran and Russia were supposed to have the back of Syria. Syria, when it fell, these people don't have each other's backs. So America, we should remember, we have friends. We have friends in high places. We have friends in low places. So, and last but not least, Iran, they didn't attack the U.S. They barely even attacked Israel. They started attacking their neighbors. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, UAE, boom. Oh, yeah, Bahrain, boom. Oh, yeah, Qatar, boom. So now you have Arabs, the Arab Gulf states, they woke up to this war. They were upset with who? The United States and Israel. And by the time they went to bed, they were upset with Iran. Walk me through your logic. This is a complete buffoonery out of Iran.
Listen, as we're going through this, the one thing that we can't recognize enough for what they do is the armed forces, the folks in the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, every one of these guys on what they're doing. Without them, you and I wouldn't have the freedom that we have to be safe, to go out there and do what we're doing. Sometimes you forget about the military, but if you're somebody that served in the military and you believe the future looks bright, or you have a friend or a family that does, and you want to recognize them, Rob, if you can go up, VT merch, we have an armed force collection. If you can go down a little bit, there's 2 hats that every time we get them, we can't keep them on. That's one of them, but keep going down, keep going down, keep going down, keep going down. That one to the right,
I love
you see that one zoom in? This one, whenever it comes in, it goes just as quickly.
I love that.
It's an incredible, by the way, if you want to get, the future looks bright, green, camo. And then also, Rob, go back if you can. There's another one as well on the bottom left. Keep going, keep going, keep going right there. Those two are 2 of the most popular hats that we have for folks in the military that wear with Future Looks Bright on the right side. So put the link below, Rob. Go to vtmerch.com, place an order, especially at a time like this. Represent our military for the patriotic job that they're doing out there. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.